I am trapped in the day of my ex-husband Adrian's wedding. Every morning upon waking, his wedding invitation with his new love is placed on the bedside table. I rush madly to the wedding venue, kneel down and beg him, "Adrian, I was wrong, can we remarry?" Yet he looks at me indifferently and kisses the bride beside him in front of everyone. At midnight, I die in excruciating heart pain, only to wake up again in the morning. On the 100th loop, I completely break down and roar in front of all the guests, "Adrian, how long are you going to torment me?" He smiles, his expression filled with pity. "Evelyn, this is not torment, it is what you owe me." As soon as he finishes speaking, the beautiful bride beside him transforms into the face of the fake young master I hate the most. On the 100th awakening in the morning, the scarlet invitation on the bedside table resembles a death warrant. Adrian and Sophia's wedding. I numbly tear it to pieces and rush out the door. Familiar route, familiar wedding venue, familiar crowd. Like a madwoman, I push through all the guests and throw myself in front of Adrian. "Adrian!" I grab his pant leg, my voice hoarse. "I was wrong, can we remarry?" He looks down at me condescendingly, his gaze devoid of any ripple, as if looking at a piece of trash unrelated to him. Sophia beside him, dressed in a pure white wedding gown, is dazzlingly beautiful. She links her arm with Adrian's and softly says, "Adrian, the auspicious time is approaching." Adrian hums in response. He bends down, not to help me up, but to pry away my hand clutching his pant leg. His fingertips are ice cold. "Evelyn, stop humiliating yourself." After saying that, he lowers his head right in front of me and kisses Sophia. Applause of blessings erupts around us, each clap like a slap to my face. I collapse on the ground, watching them ascend the altar and exchange rings. I watch the love in his eyes, which once belonged solely to me, now given to another woman. I have tried every method. Begging is useless. Threatening suicide only results in him having security drag me away, saying, "Don't dirty my ground." Attempting to harm Sophia, I cannot even touch the hem of her dress. Every time, the outcome is the same. The midnight bell tolls at 12, my heart gripped by an invisible hand, excruciating pain assaults me, and I die in suffocation. Then, in the next morning, I wake up intact, repeating this torture. Day after day, endlessly. Today is the 100th time. I can endure it no longer. When the priest asks if Adrian is willing to marry Sophia, I muster all my strength to stand up and roar, "Adrian! How long are you going to torment me?" The entire church falls silent instantly. Everyone turns to look at me, the uninvited guest. Adrian finally turns his head, looking directly at me. He smiles. That smile is no longer indifferent but a kind of condescending pity that I cannot comprehend. "Evelyn, this is not the torment I am giving you." His voice clearly echoes through every corner of the church. "It is the punishment you owe me." "What punishment?" I stand stunned in place. The next second, Sophia beside him, the woman I envy to madness, her face begins to distort and change. Her delicate features melt and reorganize. Finally, it turns into the face I hate the most. Ryan. That fake young master who occupied the nest for over 20 years, ruining everything between me and Adrian. I stare in horror, eyes wide, and scream. The heart pain arrives prematurely, my vision blacks out, and I lose consciousness. Upon waking again, it is not in my own bedroom. Under glaring lights, I am dressed in a pure white wedding gown. Across from me, a man in a white suit is smiling at me. It is Ryan. "Evelyn, you're awake?" I sit up abruptly, looking down at the wedding gown on my body, my stomach churning violently. "Get away." I push him away forcefully and scramble off the bed. This is my and Ryan's bridal chamber. I remember now. In my previous life memories, to retaliate against Adrian, on the same day he got married, I married his most hated cousin, Ryan. I wake up startled from this fake wedding. No. Everything is messed up. I was clearly trapped in Adrian's wedding. Why have I suddenly returned here? The phone on the bedside vibrates. I pick it up and see a push notification on the screen. Sure, Group President Adrian ties the knot today, marrying socialite Sophia. In the accompanying image, Adrian looks triumphant, the love in his eyes no longer mine. The scarlet invitation is not on the bedside but imprinted in my mind. I rush out of the room like a madwoman. Ryan shouts from behind, "Evelyn, where are you going? Our wedding isn't over yet." I ignore him, with only one thought in my mind. To find Adrian. I need to clarify what is going on. When I rush to that familiar church again, everything returns to the starting point. Adrian and Sophia are about to exchange rings. I shout hoarsely, "Adrian." He pauses his action and turns to look at me. This time, his gaze carries a hint of amusement. "You've come." As if he knew I would arrive. I point at the person beside him, trembling all over. Who is she? No, who is he? Where is Ryan? What is going on? Adrian does not answer me. He merely raises his hand slightly. The church doors close. The surrounding guests, faces familiar or unfamiliar, all watch me quietly with eerie expressions. Suddenly, an unfamiliar memory surges into my mind. It is in an abandoned factory. I personally strap a timed bomb onto Adrian's body. I say to him, "Adrian, don't you love me? Then use your life to exchange for Ryan's." In the scene, he looks at me with bone-chilling despair in his eyes. "Evelyn, you will regret this." How could I do such a thing? I do not remember at all. Intense headache assaults me, and I squat on the ground holding my head. Adrian's voice comes from above, chilling to the bone. "Remembered? This is only the first one. At midnight 12, I die punctually on the church's cold floor. Upon waking again, I am still in my and Ryan's bridal chamber. I am covered in cold sweat, my mind filled with images of Adrian strapped with the bomb. No, that was not me. I love Adrian, how could I treat him that way? It must be fake, an illusion created by Adrian to torment me. I jump off the bed and rush to his wedding again. This time, I do not shout or scream. I need to stay calm, I need to expose his trick. When I arrive, the wedding is in progress. I stand at the back of the crowd, staring intently at the man on the stage. I need to find a flaw. He is still so handsome, in a sharp suit, the best version in my memory. Only, the gentle look he gives the bride breaks my heart. I force myself to calm down. This time, I do not rush forward but dial a phone number. It is my former assistant. "Hey, help me check if Adrian is really getting married today." The assistant's voice is puzzled. "Evelyn, aren't you attending the wedding? Adrian's wedding is being broadcast live across the city." I hang up, my body ice cold. It is real. Everything is real. I am trapped in this day, while the people outside live real lives. At this moment, another memory crashes into my mind without warning. In a dim basement, Adrian's hands are tied to a chair. I hold a hammer, striking once, twice, breaking his fingers. "Adrian, have these hands touched Sophia? So dirty. I'll clean them for you." Blood splatters on my face, yet I am laughing. "No." I scream, covering my mouth. This is not me either. How could I? I stumble out of the crowd, rushing to the altar. "Adrian. Everything you've shown me is fake. I didn't do it." He does not even look at me, merely saying to the priest, "Continue." I madly try to tear at the woman called Sophia. Security rushes up, pinning me firmly to the ground. I struggle, looking up at him. "Look at me. Adrian. Tell me this isn't real." He finally lowers his head, his gaze carrying a hint of annoyance. Evelyn, have you caused enough trouble? I'm not causing trouble. I cry out, it's you, you forged those memories to torment me. He chuckles lightly, bending down, whispering in my ear in a voice only we can hear, forged? Then is the sensation in your hands real or fake? My body stiffens. As if the vibration from shattering bones still lingers in my palm. He straightens up, adjusting his tie. Don't rush, there's more. The midnight bell tolls again, familiar excruciating pain, familiar death. I lie on the ground, watching him link arms with the bride, leaving amid the guests' blessings. His retreating figure is resolute, without a trace of reluctance. I do not know which loop this is. I can no longer distinguish truth from falsehood. Each awakening unlocks a new memory of me harming him. I push him to block a knife. During his company's crisis, I steal confidential files and give them to Ryan. When he needs a blood transfusion after a car accident, I lie saying our blood types do not match, when really it is because I fear the pain. Those retaliations I once dismissed or even took pride in, through day after day repetition, become knives that slowly torture me. I finally understand that I am not an innocent victim. I am a complete bastard. I begin to fear waking up. Because each awakening means facing an uglier version of myself. This time, the unlocked memory is the final straw. It is shortly after our divorce. Ryan, to utterly crush Adrian, designs a kidnapping. The target is me. He knows that even after divorcing me, Adrian still cares about me. Adrian really comes to rescue me. Alone, he charges into the abandoned warehouse. Ryan's men beat him half to death, then hold a knife to my throat. Adrian, kneel. Adrian looks at me and kneels without hesitation. The sound of his knees hitting the ground is so dull. I remember, at that moment, I even felt a hint of satisfaction in my heart. See, Adrian, you still love me. Ryan laughs. Now, I give you a choice. He stuffs another knife into my hand. Either you stab him once, and I'll let you both go. Or, you both die here. I grip the knife, my hand shaking. Adrian looks at me, his gaze calm like a pool of stagnant water. He says, Evelyn, don't do something you'll regret. But what was I thinking then? I just wanted to survive. I did not want to die. So, I raised the knife, aiming at his heart. No. I did not aim at the heart. I just wanted to scare Ryan. I just pushed him a bit. Pushed him to block the knife stabbing from another kidnapper behind. The sound of the blade entering the body. Warm blood splatters my face. Adrian slowly collapses, looking at me, his lips moving but no sound emerging. That was the last time I saw the light in his eyes. That light extinguished the moment I pushed him to his death. The memory ends, and I bolt upright from the bridal chamber bed, sobbing uncontrollably. So, it was I who killed him. No, he did not die. He is getting married today. But I personally killed the Adrian who loved me. The midnight bell has not yet tolled, but my heart already aches to the point of breathlessness. I curl up on the ground like a dying dog. Punishment. Yes, this is the punishment I deserve. In endless despair, I paradoxically calm down. Since it is punishment, there should be an end. I cannot continue acting like a madwoman, causing scenes or begging. That would only make him despise me more. This loop, I do not go to the wedding venue again. After waking from the fake wedding, I lock myself in the room, replaying those evidences of guilt over and over. The bomb, broken fingers, business betrayal, and that final fatal push. I force myself to watch, remembering every detail, every instance of his pain and despair. Until my tears run dry. Until my heart goes numb. I begin to think. Adrian said this is the punishment I owe him. And this punishment is to make me watch my own crimes repeatedly, then die of heartbreak. What if I can find a bargaining chip to make him change his mind? What if I can prove that I did those things because I was forced, deceived by Ryan and that elder sister I never took seriously? Once this thought arises, it spreads like wildfire. Yes, I still have a chance. I cannot admit defeat just like that. From the next loop onward, I no longer focus on Adrian's wedding. I exploit the time difference brought by the loops and begin a frantic investigation. The place I wake up is Ryan's villa. This is an excellent starting point. I pretend to be submissive, playing the role of the fiancé in his memory who loves him to madness. I cook and care for him attentively. Ryan is very pleased, thinking I have finally seen reality and fully turned to him. He begins to let his guard down in front of me. While he sleeps, I secretly copy all the data from his phone and computer. Each loop, I delve deeper than the previous one. I uncover all his dirty deeds over the years, how he gradually hollowed out the Lynn family, how he framed Adrian. The evidence accumulates. But it is not enough. These only prove Ryan is a bad person, not that I have extenuating circumstances. I need more crucial evidence. In some unknown loop number in the dozens, I finally notice a detail. At Adrian's wedding, watching from afar. When he turns sideways to kiss the bride, I see a scar on the back of his neck that I have never seen before. The scar is faint, yet like a bolt of lightning, it splits open my memories. I have never seen that scar. It was not there when we were together. This means the scar appeared after our divorce. And Sophia. I finally muster the courage, in one loop, not to run away but to observe her up close. Her gaze. The way she looks at me is not like a rival, but more like pity. A condescending pity laced with sighs. A massive mystery unfolds before me. This loop may not be as simple as I thought. I shift the focus of my investigation to the Schur family's elder sister, Miriam. In my memories, she has always been a gentle, serene woman who does not compete or seize. After their father's death, she voluntarily relinquished her inheritance rights, wholeheartedly assisting Adrian. Everyone says she is a good sister. But my intuition tells me the problem lies with her. I exploit the loops, infiltrating the Schur family old residence time after time. It was once my home, now a den of danger. I hide in the shadows, observing Miriam's every move. Her daily life is very regular, reading, drinking tea, arranging flowers, like a wealthy idler detached from worldly affairs. But I discover that every Wednesday she goes to a distant cemetery. The tombstone has no name, only a surname. My heart stirs. Sophia's surname. I begin investigating this cemetery. Each loop, I progress further. I bribe the cemetery administrator and check the burial records from that year. The deceased, Selena, died over 20 years ago from dystocia. I continue digging. I hack into the hospital's old archive system and find Selena's hospitalization records from that year. In the family signature column, a flamboyant signature, the Schur family patriarch, Adrian's father. A shocking conjecture forms in my mind. I need evidence. I lock my target on Miriam's study. There must be what I want there. In yet another loop, I time Miriam's visit to the cemetery and infiltrate her study. There is a locked safe in the study. I do not have the password. But I have infinite time. I try time after time. Using her birthday, the patriarch's birthday, Adrian's birthday, all wrong. Time ticks by, and I sweat profusely in anxiety. Suddenly, I think of that nameless tombstone. Selena. I try entering Selena's birthday. Click. The safe opens. Inside, no gold or jewels, only an old wooden box. I open the box, and inside is a stack of yellowed letters and a paternity test report. With trembling hands, I open the report. Ryan and Miriam, parent-child relationship confirmed. Ryan is not some illegitimate child of the Scher family at all. He is Miriam's son. And those letters are from Miriam to her lover back then, detailing how she hated the Scher family, hated Selena who stole her beloved, hated the son Selena bore, Adrian. She wants revenge. She wants to seize everything from the Scher family and give it to her and her lover's son, Ryan. So, from the beginning, this was a conspiracy. I, Evelyn, am merely the stupidest and sharpest knife in her revenge plan. Holding the evidence, I feel like I own the world. I think this is the bargaining chip to make him change his mind. I think, as long as I tell him all this, he will understand that I was merely used. We will return to the past, and everything will be fine. This loop, I hesitate not at all. Carrying that wooden box, like a general about to triumph, I rush to his wedding. The church doors open for me. All guests turn to look at me, their faces showing no surprise, only a spectator's indifference. I ignore them. My eyes are only on Adrian on the stage. Adrian! I raise the box high. I know everything. I know you were wronged. So was I. I rush in front of him, open the box, and stuff the letters and report into his hands all at once. Look. Look. This is all Miriam's conspiracy. Ryan is her illegitimate son. She used me to deal with you. The things I did were not my intention. I was deceived by her. I babble incoherently, eagerly trying to prove my innocence. I love you, Adrian. I have always loved you. I look at him expectantly. Expecting shock, anger, expecting him to pity me. However, nothing. Adrian merely calmly takes those things, without even glancing down. He casually hands the items to the best man beside him, then looks at me. His gaze is calmer than ever before. Calm to the point of frightening me. He speaks, his voice not loud, yet clearly falling on my ears. Finished? I am stunned. Adrian, you don't believe me? I do. He nods, I know every word you said. Then you. Evelyn, he interrupts me, everything you found is what I wanted you to find. My mind goes blank. What does that mean? He waves his hand. The church's side door opens. 2 uniformed police officers escort a familiar figure in. That person is dressed exactly like me, hair disheveled, eyes wild. It is me? Or rather, the me from the previous loop, driven mad by jealousy, wanting to rush up and kill Sophia. That me, sees Adrian, and struggles frantically. Adrian! You liar! You'll die a horrible death. Even as a ghost, I won't let you go. I watch in horror as that me is forcibly taken away by the police, still cursing incessantly. My limbs are ice cold, as if my blood has frozen. Adrian's voice drifts over faintly. Evelyn, everything you see, everything you think, is what I want you to see. This loop is not for you to atone. He steps closer, looking down at me condescendingly, enunciating each word like a verdict. But to make you see clearly what kind of person you really are. I collapse on the ground, completely dazed. He is the master of this loop. I am like a clown, diligently performing my self-righteous redemption on the stage he meticulously set up. And he is merely a cold-eyed spectator. Why? I murmur to myself, why do this to me? Why? He repeats, smiling. That smile carries endless sarcasm and cold hatred. This question, you should ask yourself. He raises his hand, lightly touching the back of his neck. The scar I discovered. This is what you gave me. Another memory ferociously crashes into my mind. It is not in the warehouse, not a kidnapping. It is after our divorce, at a business cocktail party. I drank too much, Ryan supporting me. Adrian sees, he comes over, wanting to take me away. I refuse. In front of everyone, I humiliate him, cursing him as a stray dog abandoned by me. His eyes red, he forcibly grabs my wrist. Evelyn, come home with me. Let go of me. In the struggle, I grab a red wine bottle from the table and smash it hard against his head. The bottle shatters. Glass shards slice across the back of his neck, blood flowing freely. He does not dodge. He just stares at me fixedly, the last bit of light in his eyes completely shattered. So, that is how the scar came about. I forgot. I actually forgot all of this. Remembered? Adrian's voice pulls me back to reality. He squats down, level with my eyes. Evelyn, do you think that by uncovering Miriam's conspiracy, you are innocent? Do you think all the wrongs can be pushed onto others? He pinches my chin, forcing me to look at him. I tell you, no. Using Ryan against me was your choice. Strapping the bomb on me was your doing. Breaking my fingers was by your hand. Stabbing me in the back was you personally pushing me. With each sentence, my heart sinks further. Miriam only gave you a knife, but the killer is you, Evelyn. You were never innocent. You are just stupid and evil. Stupid and evil. These 4 words, like 4 scorching brands, sear deeply into my heart. Yes. I cannot refute. I look at his face so close, this face I loved for half my life and hated for half. I finally ask the most crucial question. So, this loop was created by you? Yes. He answers crisply. He stands up, returns to the bride's side, and takes her hand. The woman called Sophia has been standing quietly all along, like a beautiful puppet without a soul. Adrian's voice echoes in the empty church, carrying a divine judgment tone. In the moment you pushed me to block the knife, when I was on the brink of death, I made a wish. I wished for you to taste all my pains, to see clearly all your own sins. Thus, this world was born. He spreads his arms, as if embracing the entire church. A judgment space with me as the master and you as the prisoner. My world completely collapses. So, I do not even have the right to die. My so-called loops are merely programs he set. Whatever he wants me to remember, I remember. Whatever he wants me to see, I see. All the truths I uncovered are merely bait he fed me, making me think I grasped a lifeline, then, at my most triumphant moment, dragging me harshly into deeper hell. Each loop unlocks a segment of memory you forgot, or rather, deliberately forgot, of harming me. Until you piece together a complete, true, vicious Evelyn. Only when you fully recognize your sins will this loop end. I laugh. Laughing and laughing, tears flow down. I lost. Lost utterly. All my struggles, all my schemes, before him, are like a childish joke. I finally understand what the pity in his eyes means. He pities me. Pities my stupidity, pities my lack of self-awareness. So, now what? I raise my head, asking hoarsely, is it over now? I have remembered everything. I have already confessed. Can I be released? Adrian looks at me and shakes his head. No, not yet. There is one last time. He takes Sophia's hand beside him and slowly walks toward me. Sophia's face begins to change again. This time, she does not turn into Ryan. Her features become soft, her brows and eyes curved, a very familiar yet blurry appearance in my memory. Adrian's voice is soft. Evelyn, do you remember her? Our university's campus belle, Selena. You said you hated her because she always had a haughty demeanor. But you didn't know, she was the daughter of my father's benefactor, and my father had been sponsoring her. I approached her only to repay the debt on behalf of my father. Because of jealousy, you spread rumors in school, saying she was kept, causing her to become depressed and eventually drop out. These, you probably forgot too. I stare blankly at that face. Yes. I forgot again. How much evil I committed have I forgotten? Adrian looks at me, the last trace of emotion in his eyes disappears, leaving only complete emptiness and indifference. Now, this is the final loop. The final loop. I do not wake up in my and Ryan's bridal chamber again. I return to my own bedroom. The sunlight is bright, birds chirp outside the window. No scarlet invitation. No news of Adrian's wedding. Everything seems to have returned to the very beginning. I am dazed for a long time before slowly getting out of bed. I walk to the mirror, looking at myself. Haggard, pale, eyes vacant. Has the loop ended? With trembling hands, I pick up the phone. The date is 1 year after the day I was trapped. I am free. I am truly free. I rush out the door, greedily breathing the fresh air outside. The streets are bustling with people and vehicles. Everything is so real. Crying and laughing, I run on the street like a fool. I cannot wait to know Adrian's news. I find a newsstand and buy all magazines about him. Sure Group reaches new heights, President Adrian tops the annual economic figures, Adrian and socialite Sophia's happy event approaches, reportedly Miss Sophia is pregnant. In the photo, he embraces a gentle and beautiful woman, she is not any face I saw in the loops. She is called Sophia, a real existing woman loved by him. They smile so happily. In his eyes, there is a true happiness and peace I have never seen. I understand. The Sophia in that judgment space was merely a symbol. A symbol pieced together from Selena's face, Ryan's face, and my own face, representing all my sins. And in reality, he has long drawn a clear line with me and gained a new life. I stand on the bustling street, holding that magazine, feeling like a forsaken ghost abandoned by the world. He made me carry all the memories and roll out of his life. He succeeded. I rolled out. But where do I go? I return home, in the empty house, only me. I turn on the TV, which is playing news from a year ago. It is the scene of me madly rushing into Adrian's wedding venue. The news title, Lynn family heiress causes havoc at ex-husband's wedding, suspected mental breakdown. I turn off the TV. The surroundings are terrifyingly quiet. Those memories of me harming him, those words of his judging me, replay over and over in my mind. You are just stupid and evil. Everything you see, everything you think, is what I want you to see. Now, you can carry all your memories and roll out of my life. I cover my ears and scream. No. I don't want to think anymore. I rush into the kitchen, grab a fruit knife. Since he gave me freedom, I'll end it myself. I close my eyes and stab the knife toward my heart. The anticipated pain does not come. I open my eyes. The knife in my hand has turned into a plastic spoon. The surroundings are not my home. Pure white walls and the pungent smell of disinfectant. A doctor in a white coat and 2 nurses are pressing my shoulders. The doctor sighs and says to the nurses, "The patient is emotionally unstable again today, increase the dosage." The needle pierces my arm. The drug is pushed into my veins. My consciousness begins to blur. I seem to understand something. I look around. Soft walls, furniture without edges, windows sealed with iron bars. This is a mental hospital. 152, a nurse whispers. So pitiful, I heard she was once a wealthy heiress. Yes, a year ago the shock was too great, she insists she is trapped in a time loop, every day causing a fuss to attend her ex-husband's wedding. Her ex-husband has done all he can, arranged the best ward for her, paid all medical fees, just never visited her again. If it were me, I wouldn't come either, after being tormented like that, not strangling her is already kind. Their voices grow fainter. My eyelids grow heavier. Before completely losing consciousness, I see my name hanging on the ward door. Evelyn. Attending physician, Miriam. I smile. So that's it. So, this is the true punishment. Adrian did not create any judgment space. He merely, after I went mad, sent me to his good sister's hospital. Those loops, those memories, those judgments, all are hallucinations created by the drugs Miriam injected into me. In this way, she completed this long, ultimate revenge on behalf of her good brother. And Adrian, he does not even need to do it himself. He only needs, after I went mad, to thoroughly and forever disappear from my life. He gained a new life. And I am forever trapped here. Trapped in the hell I wove for myself. Morning. I wake up on the pure white hospital bed. A nurse comes in, with a professional smile on her face. In her hand, a scarlet envelope. Miss Evelyn, your invitation. I take it. It is Adrian and Sophia's wedding invitation. I look at the invitation and reveal a calm smile. Okay, I know. I change into the formal attire prepared by the nurse, which is actually a clean hospital gown. I follow her out of the ward. In the corridor, other guests are also brought out. Like me, they wear hospital gowns, expressions either dazed or excited. We are led to a spacious auditorium, which is the hospital's activity room. In front of the activity room, the TV is playing a grand wedding video. It is from a year ago, Adrian and Sophia's wedding. I walk to the TV, looking at the triumphant man on the screen. I kneel down, grabbing the cold TV cabinet. Adrian, I was wrong. Crying, I repeat over and over. Can we remarry? The him on the screen does not look at me. He is affectionately kissing the bride beside him. The surrounding guests let out sporadic applause. I know, when the wedding ends, at midnight 12, actually the lights out time at 9 p.m., the nurse will inject me with a sedative. I will fall into deep sleep amid the heart excruciating pain brought by the drug. Then, in the next morning, wake up anew. Day after day, endlessly. He made me carry all the memories and roll out of his life. I rolled into this eternal cage tailored for me.